So, hey everybody, welcome to a Brilliant Businesses podcast. I'm Nick Bryant, and my guest today is John Martin from Ashdown Holteye CPD.
Hi Nick,
how are you? All right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Good to see you. So John's business is a health and safety business, and he's moving into other areas like HR. And he's going to tell us a bit how it all came about, tell us his story about how he set the business up, and then go into the other divisions and what he's planning with it. So take it away, John. Tell us how it all came about.
So essentially I'm a health and safety advisor and wanted to start my own business, create my own income, try something different, see if I can do it. And so I always had these kind of harebrained schemes, essentially. And then at some point it just clicked that actually it made sense to do something that I actually am doing already rather than something a little bit off the wall. Yeah. We always had the plan to create a business services company that was more than just health and safety. So we started Ashdown Holteye CPD. Yep. And we've essentially been running for about a year and a half, 2 years now. With two divisions, Ashdown Safety and Ashdown Human Resources, with 3 employees. So we're going well, and we're looking to grow and kick on from here.
Excellent. So the health and safety business, so that's your background?
That's my background, yes.
So
yeah.
Previously, before the year and a half, you worked for other businesses?
Absolutely, yeah.
Learned the trade, if you like?
Exactly. As a consultant, essentially providing health and safety services, a lot of construction work, and a lot of construction projects, CDM consultancy as well, but predominantly general health and safety consultancy work.
Okay. And what sort of businesses do you look after now? All sorts of shapes and sizes, local, national?
Generally, it's a wider spectrum, but probably about 70% of them are construction or trade type companies, plumbers, heating, electricians, demolition companies, and probably the rest are kind of made up with factories and kind of industrial backgrounds. But we do have some architects, structural engineers, so we pretty much cater for most companies, most industries, and most types of hazard. Yeah.
So health and safety, talk us through it. So what do you supply, and how do you help businesses with their health and safety? Is it fire extinguishers? How does it work?
Yeah, so essentially, we provide a pay monthly service where essentially we act in the background. We say you're their competent health and safety advisor, and that entails essentially health and safety audits. And then it also just means that we're here on the end of an email or a phone for any advice you need in terms of health and safety. What we find with a lot of our health and safety clients is that they are trying to get an accreditation or they are tendering for work, and they need to give details of their competent health and safety advisor. So essentially, they sign up with us, and we were able to say, look, here's my CV qualifications so that you can demonstrate that you've got that experience and knowledge in terms of health and safety in your company that you can gain access to at any time.
That makes them much more secure, much more approachable by other businesses, I would have thought. Strengthens things up for them, right?
Yes, that's right. I mean, obviously then they get several benefits from that. They get health and safety expertise, which will reduce accidents or incidents on site, but also there's a business plan, a good financial sense to it, in the fact that if you can get an accreditation, you can demonstrate how seriously you take people's safety, you're likely to win more work. So it's a win in that respect as well.
Yeah. So it's interesting that you've sort of used that as your starting point, I guess.
That's right, yeah.
Launch into other services to really grow the business,
yes,
which is very entrepreneurial, and I love that sort of stuff. And so your next move, if you like, was HR.
That's right, yeah. Okay. So essentially we started that in January of this year. So we're gradually building up our client base. Our human resources HR division is headed up by my colleague Gail Watson. Okay. And she's doing a great job, really. Essentially, just kind of building our client base, and doing some great work.
Okay. And Gail's background is HR.
Gail's got a lot of experience, a wealth of knowledge. So she's essentially been in HR for about 30 years.
Wow. Okay.
And she's a chartered fellow of the CIPD, so she's got all the qualifications and competencies, but a great wealth of knowledge in terms of employment law.
Okay. And the sort of, again, on this sort of side, the sort of businesses that you're looking to help are small, medium, SMEs. Doesn't matter the size, or
no. I mean, we cater for all companies essentially, but what we find is generally on the health and safety side, it's usually companies from around about 5 employees to about 50 employees.
Okay.
It's the kind of company that at that scale where it's not cost effective to have their own health and safety advisor, which would cost them, £30,000-40,000 a year. we give them an option where essentially they're just paying a smallish monthly fee for that same level of experience and background in the background.
Yeah.
But at a cost effective and good scale compared to where their business is and what their size is.
Yeah. And you're on the phone, or can be on the phone to them at any point as a support.
Exactly. I mean, essentially, we because we're a smallish business, we have a very personable approach.
Yeah.
We treat it as if we are part of our clients' business, their own company. So we try and get that mentality that we're just a department down the road, if you like. So essentially, if they need someone, we're there. And we're as proactive and try to add as much value as we can. So
anything from employment contracts to disciplinary processes, all covers everything.
Yeah, so essentially in terms of services, I mean, so Gail specialises in all sorts of elements of HR, but things like disciplinaries, redundancy, consultancy, and that includes things like consultations or meetings or reports, grievances.
Okay.
She's also able to do settlement agreements.
Yeah.
And then again on the HR side, we have a monthly retained HR service where essentially we would again be on the end of a phone or email to provide advice as and when it needs, or provide reports or documents.
Okay. Yeah. So what's next? What's the next division, or what's your plans?
So the plans are, I mean, essentially, we're now 3 employees.
Yeah.
We're probably looking to, in the next 2-3 years, try and get up to about 10 employees.
Okay. Yeah.
And we're looking to try and just fill some of those gaps in the original vision of the company to be a business services company. So we probably look to get into marketing. Yeah. And create a marketing division that includes things like website creation, SEO work, and pay-per-click consultancy. Yeah. And then grow that element whilst also organically growing the health and safety and HR divisions themselves.
It's a really clever business model, actually, because we were speaking about it earlier, about how you've got the stability of the health and safety business, which holds everything up whilst you're working on these other divisions to let them grow, and you've got the security of that. That's
right.
It's nice to be safe.
It gives us the flexibility, really. Like you say, we can take on an employee in one of the other divisions, but essentially they can assist, muck in, if you like, on any elements that are particularly busy at any one time.
Yeah. And you're based in Crowborough?
Based in Crowborough, at the Base Point Business Centre.
Yeah, okay.
So it's a nice centre, nice set of offices.
Yeah.
Good location.
Yeah, that's good. So the benefits of businesses using you are purely because you are like an outsourced department for them, in whether it's health and safety, whether it's HR. Yeah, that's the way you look at it. You're like their own company, but on the end of a phone.
That's right. Essentially, it's that. But also, what we're hoping is that if someone originally approaches us and said, "Look, we need a health and safety solution. We're interested in that," we could say to them that, well, what do you have HR wise, or in terms of the future and marketing? How can we assist you with that? Yeah. So it becomes a case of added value, essentially. Yes. It may be that we can provide extra things as part of their health and safety package that we essentially chuck in that gives added value to the service we give them. We take the approach that we're trying to build long-term relationships. We're trying to help our clients as much as possible to grow, be successful, because at the end of the day, it makes us successful.
Yes, yeah. What do you love about it the most, John? What do you enjoy about it the most?
I mean,
the money.
No. But to be honest, I mean, it is. I look forward to seeing success. I like to see that I'm creating something for the future, something that's successful. But also, I mean, I still have a big passion for health and safety and keeping people safe. I mean, it's something that I find very interesting. It's something that has a lot of elements to it, if you like. There's a lot of technical detail that maybe some people aren't aware of in terms of specific things like, noise at work or vibration, or things where people might say, I think that's just common sense. But there are certain numerical details or measurements or technical issues that people wouldn't necessarily know or understand unless they had an expert in the background.
Yeah, and that's why you're there.
That's right, yeah.
John, thanks very much. It's great for you to come in today and tell us all about it. I really appreciate it. If anyone needs John's details on either the health and safety or HR and marketing in the future, then all his details will be underneath this YouTube video and then on this podcast. And if you like what we're doing, please subscribe to us. And we'll see you again for another podcast soon. It's good to see you, John. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Nick. That's great. Thank you very much.
See you soon, mate.
Yeah, cheers. Thank you.
Bye.